Welcome back to the At Titi's House podcast. This is episode, what episode is this again?
18.
Episode 18. Oh my goodness. Is that how it's listed on YouTube and all our platforms? Okay, so it's episode number 18 at Titi's House podcast. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for rejoining. First, let me say happy birthday to Zaul today.
Birthday, Za.
Yay, Za. 23, right? 23 years old today. My baby just turned 23. I can't believe it. But
Oh, he is 23.
it's funny because today it made me search like what was happening or what's happening today, November the 8th, like popular events since it was his birthday. I remember before I had him, I went to vote.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I
I
went to
getting out of
vote.
school early.
Who was
that.
I voting for? Was it Bill Clinton? I think it was Bill Clinton. Back in 2000. Who was running for presidency in 2000?
Probably Bill
I think it was
Clinton.
Bill Clinton. So yeah, I remember that. But
Bill
I wanted
Clinton, Bush.
Was
Is
it
that
Bush?
who Bush was going against Clinton?
No, I can't remember who I.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Who
sure
I
it
was.
was like-
I thought it was Bill Clinton running for president. Look at the presidential candidates for the year 2000.
Let's see, President.
Yeah, I can't remember. I forgot now, but I remember I went to vote before I went to have them. I made your dad take me. I was like, "Oh, you gonna take me to go vote?"
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was Bush and Al Gore.
Oh, Al Gore and Bush. Wow. Okay, so I was going to vote for Bush. I thought it was Bill Clinton, y'all. So,
Yeah, Clinton was
Correction.
the one before that.
oh, he was before that?
Yeah, I think 96. Was,
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm thinking not the old Bush, but the son Bush.
Wait, which one? Yeah, this is the son Bush.
Okay,
I was saying
all right.
Clinton was the one before that.
Right,
like
right.
96.
That's why I was saying it's Bush, the son. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. All right, so national days on Wednesday, November 8th of 2023. Did you know today was roast dinner day?
Roast dinner. Roast chicken.
Roast your chicken today. Yes, I thought that was cute. Gathering around the table for a hearty and comforting family meal. And it's surprising to me because it's like right before Thanksgiving. So this is roast your dinner day. I thought that was cute. It's predominantly celebrated in the United Kingdom, of course. The invitation is open for anyone in the world to join in on the fun and enjoy a roast dinner on this important day.
Oh yeah,
So
that's some real.
Roast dinner day. So I wonder if
That's some
the
UK
UK
shit.
celebrates Thanksgiving, or is that their
It's their
Thanksgiving
version of
day?
Thanksgiving?
Their version of Thanksgiving, roast dinner day. Today was National Cappuccino Day.
Yeah, I had coffee. I didn't have a cappuccino though.
And you know, Italy is delightfully famous for the variety of coffee drinks that it produces. Cappuccinos are loved among coffee lovers, and despite the vague history, many people still appreciate the comfort that is this hot foamy milk that the hot foamy milk drink brings. I don't like cappuccinos.
I don't know the difference between none of them.
Really, that's the froth on the top.
Oh yeah,
I don't like
it's all right.
those.
I'd rather just the coffee.
Yeah, me too. And then also cook something bold and pungent day.
Who's
I don't
making
know.
up these holidays?
I don't know. Today is World X-Ray Day or Radiography Day, which is X-Ray Day. And do you know who Harvey Wallbanger is? Today is National Harvey Wallbanger Day.
Who the heck is that?
Let's see. It's a drink though that was made after somebody. It's a sweetly flavored drink with a punch that will have you banging the walls after a few. So let's see who. I don't know who he is.
Harvey Wallbanger.
Is some people saying that it was the first created in 1971. Let's see, who is he? Oh, a famous surfer.
Is he a drunk surfer? Why is it
I
like some
don't
drink?
know why they drink after him, right? If anything, they could have named a surfboard after him.
Yeah, or a body of ocean or something.
Today is shot day too, y'all. Go out and have some shots, some
Don't-
tequila shots.
Don't mind if I do.
National STEM and STEAM Day. Eating Healthy Day. It's so many things. This has really shocked me. National Dunce Day. It's a lot of stuff going on. Wow. I thought that was interesting. So Zaul celebrates all these things on his birthday. So I thought that was cute. It made me look up that So you got to do it for your birthday to see. So today I just want to comment on this because today I was on Facebook and somebody posted something saying, what did he say? If a person cheats one, does it make them a cheater? Or because he said if you cook one meal, does that make you a chef? And I thought that was a good correlation,
doesn't
right?
make you a chef.
Yeah, cooking one time doesn't make you a chef. But my answer to him was, if you do it more than once and you like it, then that would make you a chef. If you like cooking, and it should definitely make you a cheater.
You need professional training.
Right? Would it make you a professional? Would it make you a cheater then if you like cheating?
Not if you like it. If you focus on it and work on it every day.
Put effort. So you got to put effort into
every
it.
day.
I guess that's it too, because man, you got to put effort into talking to people. Getting them to like you.
Yeah.
Hiding
it from your partner.
Yeah, hiding it if you have to hide it, because you're a cheater. You're hiding it.
Yeah, if you're cheating, you're hiding
definitely
it.
Nobody knows that you're doing it. Yeah, it was just so funny. So he was like, so if a person cheats once, what does that make them? And I said, a person that made a mistake and deserves another chance. I think so. I don't think once a cheater, always a cheater, though. I don't think so. That's the saying says, once a cheater, always a cheater. But I don't know about that. So anyway, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about date nights because it's so crazy to me that people... I was talking to someone else, and I think I said that my partner and I went on a date night, and they were like, oh, y'all have date nights? I was like, yeah, shouldn't you be having date nights when you're dating? Or even if you're married, right? Shouldn't you still be having date nights with your partner?
Yeah, heck yeah. I imagine that's what keeps it fun and keeps you interested. If not, then you're going to be miserable and hate your partner for the most part, I would imagine.
I would imagine that means, like we spend time together. Usually at home, we're watching TV or having dinner or something like that at home. But to actually go out,
it's necessary.
I feel like it's necessary, right? To be in public. And it's funny because we went to go see the movie Killers of the Wild Flower with De Niro and DiCaprio.
Was it good?
Oh my God, was it? It was
I didn't even hear about that.
over 3-hour movie.
That's too long for me.
And it's funny because he kind of fell asleep in the beginning. I was like, do I hear somebody snoring?
He right next to you.
Yeah, snoring. So I was like, but he actually woke up and we watched the whole 3-hour and 22-minute movie.
That's crazy.
It was real good. You know it's good if you don't fall asleep in the movie.
And it got De Niro in it. So
oh my God, it was De Niro and DiCaprio. Like, it was like the best movie. It's, about the Indians, the Osage Indians. I hope I'm saying that right. The Osage Indians, and how this one family it's crazy because the Indians owned the land and there was oil on this land. I don't want to give it away, but there's oil on the land and they still have to get money from the white man to give them money for the land that they rightfully own. It's their land. You know what I'm saying? So the uncle, De Niro, was greedy. And basically, I don't want to tell you the movie, but basically doing some corrupt stuff and taking money from families.
Some Pilgrims and Indians type.
Yeah, really it was. It really, really was. It's crazy, but you don't think about it. And it's funny because it sparked a conversation with my coworker, and we talked about, she was telling me like the Washington Redskins had to change their name. Yeah. The Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, and then it was someone else, a baseball team.
It was the Indians.
The Indians had to change their names because they could no longer. I guess they fought for those names, the Indians.
Yeah, they say.
Yeah, so they changed their names. And I was like, what? I'm just hearing of this. I did not even know that. I didn't even know the Washington Redskins changed their name.
Yeah, they changed their name to, first it was the Washington football team, and then now they just changed it this year and made it official to something else. I forgot. But I like the Washington football team was a better name than what they got now.
Oh, really?
It's super basic, whatever it is.
Oh, is it like the Washington? Look that up. I'm curious because she said it prompted all of them to change.
Commanders, the Washington Commanders.
Oh, that's not a good name.
Yeah, y'all should have kept the Redskins. That's because that's like commanders, that has to be like
Like, it sounds like Army.
Army, yeah. And I'm like
an Army team.
I guess because it's D.C. that is Washington.
The Pentagon. Yeah,
exactly. So
that makes a little bit of sense. Yeah,
I hate that name, though.
Well, if the military supports that, that's pretty good. I think we got off topic a little bit. As always.
Yeah,
but
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, as always. But I want to talk about date nights and what that does for, like, relationships. Mm-hmm. Because... I actually pulled up an article. It says, date your spouse and stay happily married. And this is by the Institute for Family Studies. It was published actually around Valentine's Day last year. And just some highlights of this particular study. It says over half, 52% of husbands and wives reported never or rarely going out on dates, while 48% reported regular date nights once or twice a month or more often per a new report. It says husbands and wives who reported more frequent date nights reported being happier in their marriages and less likely to see divorce in the future. And couples who reported frequent date nights were 21 percentage points more likely to report being very happy with their sexual relationship. I could see that. Because I think that people wait for Valentine's Day to have a date night.
One date a year is crazy.
Like, that's crazy. But you know what? People that have small children, you have to get a babysitter. I mean, I remember we tried to go out. I'm gonna say we tried to go out at least one day out the weekend. Uh-huh. That's 4 days a month. Like, we didn't get to do a lot of things, but we did try to at least go to like a club and dance and, or hang out with friends at their house. Like, we tried to find active adult things to do. And it allows you to kind of build communication. Mm-hmm. You're communicating about things openly when you don't have your kids around, or, you might live with your mom and dad. I don't know, your parents. You're not around them, so it's helping you communicate more effectively, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so.
But it's really a lot more. It's a lot more people that do not go out on dates.
Yeah, because it was 52%. Yeah, that's crazy.
Are reporting that they're not dating their partner, their spouse or their partner.
And I wonder what's the percentage of divorce among them 52%?
That would be good to know. It does not say 2,000 married men and women. Does not say, but it does say that. It says that a regular date night boosts marital stability, which I can see that. It helps with a better communication, sex, and commitment. So husbands and wives who reported more frequent date nights were significantly more likely to say they are very happy with how they communicate. I think that is so true, because I think even when I go out on a date night with my partner, we're talking in the car, we're having open conversation all the way to where we're going. Sometimes it's rarely that we listen to music. Oh, it depends on who's driving. If he's driving, we're watching a movie in the car, which I ain't too keen about, y'all. Watching movies in the car, that ain't safe.
Yeah, it make me motion sick.
Oh.
Like just looking at the screen.
Oh, really? Yeah. See, if it's me, I'm listening to music. But, we have conversation all the way there. We're talking on the way back. You might be talking while you're waiting for the movie to play. You're just talking about random stuff.
Yep. That
we normally don't get to talk about every day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think that it also fosters commitment, because you're committed to each other. One day a week, one day a month. That day is coming, right? Mm-hmm. I think so. So when you're dating, do you plan, like, how do you date? Like, do you plan? Because I feel like we don't really plan on going out a lot, because he's running a business, I'm working and got stuff going on too. By the time you finish working, like, you're tired and you don't want to go out. So how do you plan yourself? Like, how do you plan a date night? Like, do you plan ahead of time? Like, is it planned or is it spontaneous? Like, I'm curious to how people are dating.
It depends on who's free.
What you mean on who's free?
It depends on which one of my shorties is free that night.
Oh, you got more than one that you're dating. I get it. Okay.
So whoever's free, then that, you know.
So if you feel like going out and you call one of the chicks that you're talking to and they be like, not tonight, I'm busy, or you just call the next one.
Yeah, next in line.
Oh, okay. But do you got one that's your favorite?
Oh, yeah, of course, always. It's always a favorite.
So funny to me.
Yeah,
so you have one that's your favorite.
Hopefully she's free.
She's the one. You like her. What makes her your favorite, though?
She's just...
Like, you want to take her out on a date. What makes her your favorite?
More calm. Her energy is more predictable, I guess. Way she carry herself. You know, she just, you know, but that don't mean that she can't do nothing to fall to the bottom of the list, though.
Yeah. Oh man, that's real talk.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
She might say something or do something.
You know, yeah. It's like, oh, why word?
Oh man, that's too many to be trying to date.
No, just a couple, not too many.
Not too.
Then it's like you said, people busy. When you busy, you ain't really got time to.
I know.
Entertain all that anyway.
No, you don't. I remember when I was going back to school, I was seeing a guy, and I kind of broke up with him and was like, I can't dedicate myself to a relationship right now because I'm going back to school. Mm-hmm. And it was like I think people that don't understand like the magnitude of what it takes to go to school and concentrate and having to do homework and all that stuff. That's why when Katrina left the podcast and said, I'm going back to school to get my master's, I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah,
you can't do this and do that. This is going to require you some time away from your studies or having to write a paper. She's in grad school. You're writing papers all the time, like weekly.
Yeah, how's that going for her?
It's going pretty good. Yeah, she finished. I think she's her second class or third class in now. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of her because I didn't think she was going to make it, y'all.
Keep going.
I didn't think she was going to make it. Not because she's not smart, but it's because of the other things you have going on in your life. And then you have to pick this thing as priority. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When you're picking something as a priority, is it really a priority to you? Because I think when you initially start going to school, you see it as, oh, this is a priority. I'm going to put everything else on the back burner. But it could fall to the wayside too. Mm-hmm. You know, you could get sick, family situations come into play, and you got to put your schooling on the back burner. I mean, I had to do that too. My mother was definitely ill, and I was like, I have to, you know, I had to go back to school and say, I'm going to have to finish taking this semester off so that I can concentrate on this. It's a lot of...
anything could happen, yeah.
Priorities that got to be put in place when you decide that you're going to go back to school. You know what I'm saying? So commitment, you got to be committed big time. And when you're planning date nights, you have to make a commitment to date that person and make sure that you're planning. We're very spontaneous. We don't plan. It's just like, do you want to go to the movies tonight? And it's like, okay, we'll go to the movies. Like, it's very spontaneous. It's like, it depends on, like you said, is the time available? Because you got to make the time. And if you got kids, you got to plan a babysitter.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, let them kids watch themselves.
Oh, you can't do that. Or how some people say, F them kids.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't. The nice thing that was when you guys were older, at least you could watch Zaul and we could go out because now we got in-house babysitters. Some people don't have that. You got to wait till your kids get a certain age, or some kids are ADHD. And I'll be honest, there's some kids that, my girlfriend's kids, some of them were ADHD, and I'd be like, oh, that was a task watching their kids. You know what I'm saying? Because the kids I'm so used to my kids being calm and listening, good listeners, and when you tell them to do something, they're going to do it. Some kids are not like that. They're rambunctious.
Yeah, rambunctious.
Right? They're like all over the place running. Don't jump on my furniture. Don't do that. And you know you don't want to spank people's kids.
Yeah. No, not at all. You don't want that coming back on you. It's like, I'm not ever watching you again, though.
Yeah. And see, and you don't want to do that either. Because we used to switch and be like, if you watch my kids this weekend, I'll watch your kids next weekend. Or if you watch, that's the military life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, your parents aren't around. You're living overseas. You're, living in different places. And your friends become your family. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So definitely... a lot goes into planning a date night, and you do sometimes have to plan in advance, especially if you're at home mom. You want to go get your nails done. If your kids are at home, you got little ones at home. When you gonna get the time to go do your nails and get your hair done, and then you might want to buy a nice outfit, a nice pair of shoes. Like, when are you gonna get the time? When your husband comes home and say, hey, I want to go buy me something nice to wear for date night. You watch the kids, and he might come home and be like, I'm tired, I don't want to watch them kids tonight. Because men really think that they're watching their own kids. You're not babysitting your own kids, sir. They're your kids.
This is your job.
It's your job.
Yeah, that's why I ain't got no kids. Ain't nobody I ain't got the time.
It's so funny because I used to hear couples say, well, my husband's got a babysit. And I'm like, your husband got a... No, they're his kids. He's watching them. There is no such thing as a mom babysitting her kids. So it is definitely no damn such thing as a man babysitting his kids. Okay? Don't you ever say that you're babysitting somebody, you're babysitting your kids. No freaking way. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that. But men use that excuse, though. Oh, we got to babysit the kid. You're not babysitting. When I hear a man say, I got to babysit my kid, you are
that means that he rarely watches his kids. That's what that sounds
That's
like.
what it said. The wife is always the one.
Yeah, she paying him to watch the kids.
I can't even imagine if a man asked for that. Anyway, back to commitment. You're committing to your partner to plan these date nights and go out. It says that date nights may solidify an expectation of commitment among couples by fostering a sense of togetherness, by allowing partners to signal to one another, as well as family and friends, that they take their relationship seriously. I do think that is very important. You gotta find opportunities to spend time together, to enjoy one another, to be able to communicate. And when you have date nights, it fosters romance.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is that it fosters romance and sex, because you might get sex that night. If you've taken your wife out to a beautiful dinner, and then from there you went dancing or you went to a movie, like, she might be feeling good when she come home. So, because when you got kids at home, it's hard to spend those intimate moments together, and you have to take the opportunity when it comes. Really, you do, especially when you got kids at home. So a lot of people don't. You got to take that into consideration.
Sound like kids are a hassle.
They are. Aren't you glad you don't have any?
Heck yeah.
It's a lot of work with kids when it comes to being married. People think kids are. That's why I think married couples now don't want to have kids. Like, they're living their lives first before they decide to have kids, because they know that once you start to have kids, you're going to have to settle down. Mm-hmm. It's funny. I tell my girlfriends that, like my girlfriend Davion, she is in her late 30s and she doesn't have children. And she always says, I don't know what it's going to be like when I don't have, when I'm not able to get up and just go the way I do.
Yeah, she planning on having children, though?
She wants to eventually, you know what I'm saying? But right now she's just like, I wonder what that's going to be like. I said, I can't wait to see you have kids because I want to see how you maneuver, because you're so used to just, she'll call me on a weekend and be like, okay, I'm coming to Atlanta this weekend. Let's just go hang out. Let's go have dinner. Let's go do this. Let's go do. I'm wondering how much it's going to slow her down. And she needs a spouse that, she comes from, her parents are still together. Mm-hmm. So that's all she's ever seen. And I think that she needs a guy like that too, that his parents are still together so that they're family units.
Oh, so she's not even seeing nobody currently.
Well, she was. And they kind of broke up a little bit, but they're still in contact and stuff like that. I think that, I just always tell her, like, I liked him for her because, they share the same family background. His parents have been together forever, and marriage and relationship and commitment is important in their family dynamics. Same thing with her family. So I always tell her, like, oh yeah, you definitely need a guy like your parents. His parents are married and been together for a long time, because there's more understanding in that. And when you see your parents been married for a long time, that makes you want to be as successful as them, right? Would you think that?
Yeah, I would think so. Because it's what you see. You are what you see. You are your environment, a product of your environment, So if you grew up seeing a healthy, long-lasting
relationship, you're going to strive to have that. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. When you come from broken marriages and broken families, I think that spills over into what your expectations are. Even though not saying that you don't want that, because most people that do come from broken families or divorced families, or what do they call it when it's divorced families?
Mixed families?
Mixed families. There's a term for that. I can't remember it. But when you have, you have your stepdad and your stepmom and that sort of situation too, sometimes you want, you work harder at your relationship because you just want your kids to be in the same house. Yeah, you want it to succeed. Yeah, you want it to succeed. You want them to see mom and dad together. Mom and dad raising. I always said if you guys had grandkids, I would have, love for me and your dad to be married and be able to experience our grandkids together. Do you know what that's like to be able to experience your kids and then be able to experience your grandkids together? That's rare these days. Grandparents are in 2 different locations now. You know what I'm saying? So that's really true. Rare. But really rare.
You could be cordial. If you're cordial, I mean, I guess it's not the same experience.
It's not the same experience as, being able to say, oh, let's go pick up our grandkids and we're going to have them for the weekend. And you're both cohabitating in the same house. Right. It's very different. And I think, too, for those relationships that are not being committed and you're not dating and you're not pouring into one another and not committing, the kids suffer from that because you're also not committing. Some people don't commit to parenting. Yeah. When they don't commit to their marriage and their partner, they're not committing to their kids either. You know what I'm saying? And then there's mothers that are overly committed to their kids, but not committed to their marriages because they put their kids in front of their husband. Do you see that as a true statement?
Yeah. And I remember you mentioned that last week, saying that people should put more time into their partner than their partner should come before their kids.
Yeah, that's what.
Remember you said that last week.
It says when you take on a husband, your husband is your family, your immediate family, and should be more important than your parents, and you should be more important than his parents. But I think that when you're not committing to your marriage, you're not fully committing to your children either. To me, you can't. If you're not devoting time to your marriage, you can't be devoting time to your kids. You got to be a helicopter parent. Like you're just in and out. You know what I'm saying? I can't see you committing. And maybe I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, people, because I can be wrong sometimes. But I feel like if you can't commit to your marriage, you definitely can't commit to your kids.
Well, if you like your kids better than your partner, it could be possible.
It is possible that, your marriage is not working out, but you love your children and you're pouring more time into them than your husband. That happens too. A lot, especially when you have working couples. It's not like before, like I had the privilege of being home and being able to raise kids. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go to work or to school until you were like 13. I might have had a part-time job before then, but I was more committed to my family than I was to a job. A lot of people don't have that luxury. It's too expensive right now.
That's what I was going to say. Was it your choice or just was it easier for you?
It was just easier for us because we had you and Sean, and it was like, you might as well be home.
Yeah, I mean, did you want to do that or did you want to be out finishing school?
No, I'd rather have been home when you guys were little until you were able to talk and go to school. When you both went to school, then I was like, okay, now it's time for me to, when Sean went to kindergarten, I was like, now it's time for me to go to work. You know what I'm saying? And I had to. I was separated at that time. I was like, I need to go to work. I need some money.
Get some bread.
And I was going to school at the time too. So it's like I guess you got to pick and choose, what's important. Unfortunately, I mean, we shouldn't have to, but when I was with your dad, I didn't have to work. I just stayed home and took care of you guys. And we lived overseas anyway too. So it was like, jobs were a little bit scarce back then. If you didn't have, I was young. I was like 20 years old.
And didn't you work at that hotel in Korea?
I did. Yeah, but Sean was in kindergarten.
Oh, that's when he was in kindergarten. Yeah. That was in like second grade.
You were in like first or second grade.
Because then I was in third grade in Alabama.
I know he was like 4, going to preschool. He went to preschool. Yeah. Yeah, so in the afternoons, he was home in the mornings. In the afternoon, he went to preschool. So, I mean, there's sacrifices you have to make. In a relationship, in a marriage. a lot of sacrifices, and you got to be willing to sacrifice and do things that you might not be comfortable with doing. Or it's funny because, and I'm only bringing this up because I recently went through through a situation with my partner. Luckily, he doesn't really watch the podcast like that, but
he gonna watch this episode.
Watch this episode just because I said that. Oh my God! But anyway, where he wants my location, and when I went to my girl, because you know, women, we gonna talk to our girlfriends about. He asking me for my location, and I don't know. I mean, I don't have his location, like this and that. So my girlfriends were like, "Oh, he's insecure, and he's this and that, and he's that and that." And I was just like, okay, but if this is what this man needs, obviously he needs my location because he wants to feel comfortable and wants to trust me. Then why not do it temporarily until you build trust, right? Although, in my defense, I gotta say, I've never given you a reason not to trust me. Never given you a reason not to trust me. When you met me, you looked at my page and was like, oh, she out there. She like to party, you know, she like to have fun. I'm out here with my girl. But I was single. When I started dating you, I kind of cut back on the going out stuff. I'm more at home now. I got a little baby now. I got to be at home watching. So it's like now I've cut back on my fun time. Like I go out once in a while. We just go to dinner and then I come home or whatever. But they were like, oh, he wants your location because he's cheating. Like these are women saying this stuff. And I was in my mind, I was saying, nah, he's been in a relationship where he's been hurt. And the person that he's with wasn't trustworthy. So that spills over into this relationship. And he's not trusting of people, right? And now I, as the woman that comes in behind that woman, I have to suffer the consequences of him not being that trusting, right?
This is a whole new relationship. Don't bring none of that over here. I be telling shorties that all the time.
I ain't gonna lie, I said that. And when I said is, I think that you're being a little insecure. And he was like, no, I'm not being insecure. But it's so funny because we had a conversation recently and he admittedly saying, I've never felt insecure in my whole entire life, never. And now he was like, you're right. It was because of insecurity that I needed that. But it took you a year to tell me that.
He probably had to think about it and really think about why he, wanted that. I don't know.
And I guess if you've never been cheated on, it's like, does that damage a man's ego?
Never being cheated on?
You've never been cheated on and somebody cheats on you. Does that damage an ego? Or does it damage the person? Let me just say, does it damage not your ego, but the person that you are? You're hurt and now you don't trust everyone?
Yeah, I could imagine that because I moved... I was a lot more kind-hearted at a time before being hurt by women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now I really don't care about anything.
Wow.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So it's changed who you are.
Yeah, and I've never been cheated on or known that I've been cheated on, but just even anything that goes wrong in a relationship makes you not even care to try it again, you know?
Right. It's funny because, he finally said to me, I've never been cheated on before, and it really did something to me, and it did make me insecure. But when my girlfriends were saying it to me, it was like, he's out there cheating. That's why he want to know where you at so that he don't bump into you. And I was like,
so he don't bump into you.
I don't really think that's it, girls. And I did because me being who I am, I don't have anything to hide. Mm-hmm. And if you need my location to make you feel secure or for you to trust me in the beginning, no problem. I just turned on my location. Wait, do you have his location? I don't need his location. Because I ain't going to be checking it. Like, at the end of the day, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? He cares more than I care about where I'm at than I care about where he's at because I trust you to a certain extent. But I do trust you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but you've been cheated on before, and you're not bringing that energy into this.
I can't say I don't. You can't because it's your actions sometimes. And you might not come out... I am not if I'm the type of person, and it might be my sign too, if I see something that's a red flag, I'm not sitting on shit and waiting for you to tell me or for me to ask you for the right moment. I'm asking you right in that moment then. That I'm feeling something. Did you just say what? Oh, wait a minute. But didn't you say last week? Because that's the type of person I am. I'm not going to sit on shit. I'm not going to wait for you to come out and tell me. You know what I'm saying? If I see a red flag, I'm coming. I'm not. And even though I talk myself through it and be like, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing this time. I can't control myself. It's the Virgo in me. Yeah. I got to know. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because he's a Virgo and I'm a Virgo. So it's like we're two of the same people. And I try to consciously, before I say anything or do anything, I try not to be, because I'm a little aggressive. You know, he says that, but sometimes he says, yeah, you're aggressive, but I can handle that. I ain't worried about that. I can handle that. That ain't no problem. But, you know, it's just funny that, you know, that he's taking accountability for this is why I need this. You know, and any person that deals with me is going to know this is what I need from any person I deal with moving forward. And you just going to have to accept it. And I'm like, all right, cool. But people think it's weird. They're like, why? Why does he need to know where you're at? Or why does he need to know your location? Especially my girlfriends. But I was like, the funny thing is that he'll call me. He has my location and he'll call me and say, are you at home?
He ain't even checking it.
He ain't even checking it, okay? So that means to me that you want it as a security blanket, but you ain't really checking for me like that. So guess what? I don't really care.
Yeah, I ain't giving no shorty my location because I like to lie and say I'm busy and I be at home sleep.
But that's okay. You're at home. Why can't you just say I'm at home sleep?
Nah, I don't even be wanting to respond. I'm be like, yo, I'm in a session for 2 days.
Oh, my God. Are you serious? Oh, my God. Just be transparent and say, I'm sleepy.
No,
I'm tired.
Just playing. Nah,
oh, yeah. Yeah, you just got to be. At the end of the day.
But I'm still not giving nobody my location, though.
Yeah. My girlfriends was like, I was like, oh, my God. I was like, they was like, at this age, nobody should be giving nobody their location. I was like, if I was married and my husband asked me for my location, I'd definitely do it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's even safety reasons. It's like, I mean, because Sin got my location. Sin is the only person who has my location at all times. Besides that, ain't nobody getting my location.
Like you said, safety reasons. I mean, he's expressed that too. Like safety and knowing where you're at. If something happens in the city, I know I can check and you're at home. And to be truthfully honest, like I said, he will call me and be like, "Are you at home? You have my whole entire location. Why are you asking?" And I say that to him. Yeah. You have my entire location. Why are you asking me if I'm at home? I get mad actually.
Yeah.
Because why are you checking for me if you have my location? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and really, to be honest, if I didn't see a future with this man, if I didn't see him as potentially being husband, I would never give you my location. I'm not going to just give my location to a random dude that I'm dating, and I don't feel like this is going anywhere. The only reason, and I tell him this all the time, only reason you have my location is because I love you, and I don't care if you know where I'm at. Because I'm not doing anything. You understand what I'm saying? And if I didn't see a future with you, I definitely would not give you my location. There's no reason for you to have it. I don't see no future in this. We're just messing around, having a good time, whatever. Only reason you have it is because I believe that we can have a future together. And as my husband, I wouldn't care if you had my location. I wouldn't really care. But Sin always tells me, don't listen to your girlfriends, Mom, because your girlfriends are single and they don't have a man.
For real, though.
Or they don't have a steady man. And I'll be like, well, you might have a point there.
It's like somebody rich trying to tell you how to get rich. And you're like, you ain't
even rich. How you going to tell me how to get rich? Yeah. That's true. Hey, that's very true. Very, very true. So I don't know. I think we got off topic again, y'all, but it's all good because we talk about what comes. Right? And as it comes. So just to wrap up, y'all want to make sure that you're dating your boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse, your partner. You want to make sure that you're going out there and planning those date nights. It's very important to keep, as you can see from this survey on the ifsstudies.org, is that, and it is the Institute for Family Studies, is that couples that date stay happily married. That's what you want. You want to date so that you stay happily married. All right? So we are going to wrap that up. I want to talk about in Greens and Greens today. That was wrapping up. Let's talk about it. In Greens and Greens today, I want to talk about 10 high-paying blue-collar jobs. Did you know that electricians and plumbers have the highest paying blue-collar jobs?
Really? That's fire.
Yes. And you know why? Because they said they make over $100,000 just because of they're making up to $50 to $60 an hour, which is pretty good for an electrician or a plumber.
Yeah.
Imagine having your own business and doing that. And not only that, they said in overtime, they can rack up over
stack it up.
6 figures. Yeah, stack it up.
And we're going to need them forever. Like, ain't no...
it's a skill that if you have,
no
you're right. They will
out.
need you forever. You're always needing a plumber or an electrician, right?
Yeah, there ain't going to be no robot that's going to come unclog your toilet. Not that I know of,
You got a very good point there.
Yeah, electrician, the robot's going to need electricity. They're going to need to be worked on too. Like, electric is going to be electricity. Electricians is going to be forever too.
Yeah, I agree. So let's get into So I went on Indeed.com and pulled the 10 highest paying blue collar jobs. So let's start. We're going to start with number 1. They said number 1, 10 highest paying jobs is construction and building inspector. National average salary is $57,000 per year for that job. So what do they do? What is the duties of a construction and building inspector? They examine the structural quality and overall safety of buildings, streets, and highways, water and sewer systems, bridges, dams, and other structures. You could work for the state
doing that.
That's pretty good money. What are the requirements? Most of them have a high school diploma. You need a high school diploma. Many employees prefer candidates with college level experience in engineering, architecture, or construction technology, or building inspection. I wonder if those are licenses or certifications. Many states also have certification requirements that inspectors must meet before they can participate in their profession. That's on Indeed.com. Then they have number 2 is structural iron and steel workers. I remember those were the welders. Remember, welders used to make very good money. I'm sure welders still make, because there's union for welders. They make about a national average salary. This is average salary, not including overtime, because they can make a killing in overtime. $58,000. Most of them have a high school diploma or GED with no college degree being required. It's an apprenticeship program. So you can go, just like electricians have the apprenticeship program. Welders also, they're called structural iron and steel workers. That's pretty good. Locomotive engineer. Do you know what a locomotive engineer? Train engineer. Yeah, the train
conductor.
Yes, right. The train engineers or locomotive engineers operate diesel, electric, and battery-powered trains that transport passengers or cargo. They start at $58,000 a year as well. Most of them work with the railroad workers. They update train inspection logs, monitor locomotive equipment, and make sure that the train remains on schedule. Most of them have high school diplomas, and they start in entry-level positions such as brakesman or a conductor. Wow. It's funny because I knew a couple people that worked for the railroad.
Yeah, I just met somebody like a couple weeks ago when I was at work.
They make pretty good money.
Yeah, he said he make over $100,000 just... And they moved him here from like Virginia.
Yeah.
And he working for like what's it?
How long has he been there?
He said like 2 or 3 years.
Wow, that's pretty good money, making over $100,000. Especially, they're saying here the national average is $58,000. But I see that being more just because of the duties that they have, and not only that, like I said, overtime. And overtime, these blue collar jobs require some overtime, which can put you definitely in the 6 figures. For that job, you got to pass a hearing and vision test. a skill performance test, and a knowledge test. Okay. Radio and telecommunications equipment installer. They're making $60,000 per year, according to the state's Bureau of Labor Statistics. What are their primary duties? I don't even know what they do. Radio and telecommunications equipment installers are responsible for installing, adjusting, and testing wiring, circuits, communication systems, and stationary and mobile radio equipment. You got to have a post-secondary education in the field of electronics or computer technology. Gas plant operator, $77,000. Wow, what do they do? Gas plant operators oversee the storage, production, and transport of different types of gas. They control and monitor compressors, pipelines, and distribution tanks to keep gas at pressurization and temperature levels. Wow, I never knew they had a gas plant operator.
Never heard of it
Wow.
either.
So you got to have a high school diploma or equivalent. And they need technical training. They have technical training programs and pass an extensive licensing examination. That's pretty extensive for a gas plant operator. Electrical line installer and repairer, $79,000 and above. This is like along lines of an electrician.
Electrician, yeah.
Electrical lineman. That's what Sean is, right? Electrical lineman. Electrical power line installers and repairers install, maintain, remove, and repair high voltage and low voltage distribution lines and associated facilities and equipment. They are usually a 24-hour call to quickly respond to power outages and other emergencies, especially if you work for the electric company. That's pretty good. You got to have a certification for that. They must complete an apprenticeship program, which usually takes around 4 to 5 years to complete.
Yep. That's what Sin did.
Yeah, this is one of the most popular, and the average is $79,060. Wow, that's pretty good. A boiler maker. Do you know what a boiler maker does? They make $80,000 a year.
What the heck is that?
Boiler makers are responsible for making and installing boilers and other large containers that store gases or liquids such as oil. Oh, like a
boiler room?
I guess. They are also responsible for analyzing blueprints, casting pieces, and forming them into shape, and welding pieces together. Yep. Newly built boilers and perform regular maintenance. I never even heard of that. An aspiring boiler maker, y'all listen up. This is what you got to do. Must have a GED or a diploma. Must complete an apprenticeship training program such as Boilermakers National Joint Apprenticeship Program. This apprenticeship program takes about 4 years to complete and requires 567 hours in the classroom and 60,000 hours of work assignments. Wow. Powerhouse substation and relay repairer, $87,000. This is pretty good. Blue collar jobs used to be really a lot lower paying, right? Like those that worked in warehouses and stuff like that. This is $87,000. This is pretty good. Powerhouse substation and relay repairers are responsible for checking, testing, and repairing or maintaining electrical systems and equipment used in generating stations and service relays and substations. They also create and maintain records detailing repair, maintenance, and tests. So what is the requirement? Most employers prefer candidates who have taken courses in electronics at a technical school or community colleges. Courses usually cover DC and AC electronics, microcontrollers, and electronic devices. In addition to technical education, workers are usually required to undergo training on specific types of equipment. I have never heard of a powerhouse substation and relay repairer. Power plant operator. These are the ones that work in like the big power plants. Power plant operator, distributor, and dispatcher, $94,790. Maintain the machinery that power stations use to generate electricity. Wow. You need a high school education or a high school diploma or GED. Some employers prefer candidates who have a vocational school or college degree. So you can get. Employers may also require candidates to undergo rigorous long-term technical instruction on the job training. Power plant operators, distributors, and dispatchers must spend several years of on-site training and experience to become fully qualified. That is cool because that means if you came in through a warehouse or one of these little plants to work and you started at the bottom, you could work your way up to the top. So that gives you growth potential, which is good. Elevator installer and repairer. You would never guess what they're making.
How much they making?
This is number 10. 97,860 per year. Their primary duties of elevator installers and repairers typically include reading blueprints to determine what tools and equipment are needed for the job and look for malfunctions in switches, motors, brakes, and control systems. They may also install or repair elevator doors, cables, motors, and control systems. Wow. You got to complete a formal apprenticeship program, which is typically offered by the industry associations, such as the Association of Elevator Contractors or elevator unions. Did you know that they had unions for elevator, installer, and repairers? Those are the top 10 blue collar jobs.
No, those are fire. That's some good.
Yeah, if you're starting anywhere off at damn near 60,000 for a blue collar job. Hell, some of these office jobs ain't paying 60,000.
Exactly. After going to college and stuff.
Yeah, you got to have a college degree to answer a damn telephone, and you ain't starting at 60,000. And I'm serious. Back in the day, like professional women be like, I'm not dating no blue collar worker. I will date a blue collar worker.
Yeah. Huh.
They making money. Plumbers, electricians are highly paid. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's a great field. If you have the time to go through training and 5 years of training, but you're in an apprenticeship program, but think you're working and you're going to school. So you're making money, not as high end, but you're coming in. And I remember when Sean started, he was like, wow, they weren't making but maybe what, $15 an hour?
15.
So you're from 15 to 50 in 5 years. Hey, y'all. Look into these jobs.
No, I always say that's my plan B. If anything else don't work out, I'm like, yeah, 4 years from now, I'm going right to become an electrician.
You're going to go get your electrician license?
I mean, but
Yeah.
He just got his license to run his own business, so I plan to go work over there.
And that's what people don't understand either, is that once you go through the apprenticeship program, you do have to take the state boards for your license.
Yeah.
But once you get your license, contracts come in. You open up your own business, and contracts come in. My business partner Jamal is an electrician. Came in as apprenticeship, working under someone else, and now he owns his own business, and he's been doing it probably for like 3 years now under his own self. Mm-hmm. Great contracts, apartment buildings, all kinds of different. Apartment buildings, townhouses, I mean, like houses, like you're doing all this stuff for new construction. Yeah, that's money in that. You know what I'm saying? There's options out here, people. Yep. Remember, you always have options. You don't have to go to college to make good money, but you do have to have a skill. I always said that. If you don't want to go to college and spend money on, I always say, if you're not going and specializing and going into like the medical field, if you're going to go get a degree in business, go get a skill, because you're going to owe that money. Unless you just have the money just to spend on getting a business degree. You don't need a business degree to run a business. Unless you're going to work for someone else. I don't know. You got to really think about what your plans are for your future and how you have to put a budget on, you got to look at, when you're spending money to go to college, you got to look at how much financial potential will I have once I complete this college degree. And I think a lot of kids don't look at that. They just go in with the, I'm going to go to medical school, I'm going to do this. But they don't look at the fact that at the end of the day, you're going to owe a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And is that something that you want to commit to? I can tell you, I sure as hell didn't want to commit to it. I'm still committed to it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think about that. You got to think about, weigh the pros and the cons. Write yourself down a list, like options of the things that you want to do or would enjoy doing. And make sure whatever you do, you enjoy doing it. Because if you're not happy and having to get up every day to go to work, you ain't going to be happy.
Nope, you're going to be miserable.
You're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. So find something that really suits you and your personality and who you want to be and who you are and where you want to go in life. And like I said, write the pros and the cons out because you do not want to get stuck paying high student loans if you don't have to. These guys are not paying student loans, y'all. And although I think the apprenticeship program, you do have to apply. You have to pass. I think it's like a comprehensive math and reading test.
Exactly.
And then if you get in, there's no cost. They're paying you. They might be paying you $12 an hour, but by the time you're finished, you're making very good money.
Yeah, it'll be worth it.
It'll definitely be worth it at the end. And they have unions. That's the best thing you can have in your corner is a union. Unions are going to make sure that you're making the correct amount of money, that your environments are safe, that you're getting what you're worth, and they're going to send you out on jobs that they know you can do, right?
Yep.
That's what the unions do. Regulate costs, what you're paying and what you're being paid. I don't know. All right, I just wanted to share that. So that was it. That's it for me today.
Sounds
Anything else you want to talk about, producer?
Nope.
I think we kind of got off topic a little bit, as we normally do when we get into
that's
stuff.
about right.
Right?
Yeah, that's normal. That's
We
normal
ain't
for
who
us.
we are if we can't. Can I tell you that I have some fans, y'all?
Where you have fans at?
Oh my God, on Facebook, yo, I don't respond. So it's like, it's so funny because they'll keep reaching out. I'm like, I'm not responding. Like, it's cool. Thank you. I appreciate your support. But at the end of the day, I ain't looking for no boyfriend, y'all. It's like they're asking me questions like, I'm not answering y'all questions. And my entire, just because I'm on a social media platform and I'm doing a podcast, that does that make it require me to answer?
No, to engage with people, heck no.
No? Is it good for business, though, to engage? It keeps them watching.
Yes.
Okay, well, maybe I need to just say hello then. And keep it at hello, and that's it. Basic, right? Because, man, I was like, what? Who is this? Why you keep reaching out to me? Because I don't respond to that kind of stuff. I'm like, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, it costs, a response costs $50 to the @TT House
Right,
podcast.
send me a star. How about that?
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a star, and I was like, I am not even a fan of this page.
Yeah.
What is this about? I didn't even know what it was about. I didn't know people could send you stars.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh my God. It's on Facebook. Anyway, that's
Okay.
besides the point. Thank you everyone for coming back to At TT's House Podcast. We are on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. And of course we are on Facebook, TikTok, and thanks TikTok, because as soon as I post a video, I get a lot of views out there. I appreciate that. If you could just hit like, people, I really appreciate y'all. You have 500 views and 3 likes. Like, what is that about?
The algorithm.
If you're looking at the page, that means you like it. Just hit the heart button. Is it going to hurt just to hit the heart button? No, it's not going to hurt. But anyway, I'm not here to fight with y'all. Anyway, thanks for coming back. We'll see you next time at TT's House Podcast.